Alright. First thing we're going to do here, we're going to take this fan off. Because very soon I'll be mounting the motherboard and I'll need to put the water block on here. So I need to get rid of this fan here. So it is, oh crap. Hope I didn't break that. I kind of needed that out of my hard drive. Alright, we're going to first remove this fan here. This fan here is almost certainly going to end up being reused. I'm sure with my big fan in the front, I have more than enough air moving around, but, stubborn. But I know I have enough air moving around from the front fan. But I might want a little more directional blowing here. So, if this fan doesn't have an LED on it, this fan will be very good if I want to hide it at the bottom of the case to blow air straight up on the VRMs on the motherboard. So, I will probably keep this fan here. And, you know, if it burns out, it burns out. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's a free fan. I'll use it. Especially if one doesn't give off color. You know, that takes away from the effect of the color scheme. This one's going to be difficult, isn't it? Yes, it is. Alright, come on, you. Sometimes you gotta talk to your hardware. Especially when they're being troublesome. Alright. Oh, you're being more than a little troublesome, aren't you? You just don't want to come out. The old Chinese assemblyman, he really had a strong torque gun, didn't he? Wow. Ugh. Wow. That was the best put-in screw yet in this case. Holy moly. Yeah. Okay. This is just, you know, standard black fan, entities, you know, nothing special. But what is special about this fan is there's no LEDs on this thing. So what I might end up doing here is I may put it, back this up a little bit here, put it down here. That way it can blow directly on the motherboard itself. Yeah, a little extra cooling never hurts. So I might put it there. Or I may put it up here in this slot here. Mainly because it will generate no color. And it's free, and if it burns out, it burns out. It's not a big deal. So I think what we're going to do for right now here is we're going to maybe mount this right now. I don't know. I kind of want these things that seemed like a good idea at the time. But of course, like it later in this build, you know, I may say, oh, what was I thinking? Yeah, one of those kind of things. Oh, it kind of helps if I found the other screw here. Okay. Alright, now this is the front. There is no logo on this, okay, but you know it's in the front because this side back here has voltage. So if you don't see a logo here in the front, look on the back. Usually it will say something like that. It'll have a voltage rating, or it'll have Underwriters Laboratory, or something like that. So if you can't quite tell just by looking at one side, flip it over. If you see things like voltage, then you know you got the back, okay? Now, how we're going to mount this is because I want it to blow straight up. we're going to mount it like this, okay? So the top side is going to be facing up, okay? Wait, no, wait. Now we're going to put the top side down. Yeah, my brain just fiddled on me. We're going to put the top side facing down. So we want the air to go, where's my finger at? So we want the air to go this way up into the case, okay? So we're going to mount it like this. And we'll do our best to get it in there. Now this fan may stay, this fan may not stay. I haven't decided yet. We'll find out. It all depends how good the thermals are and if this fan gets in my way or not. If this fan gets in my way, obviously it's toast, you know. So that's another thing, you know, that they don't really tell you about these things. Sometimes a little too much cooling is not a good thing. Sometimes you just gotta, you know, is this thing really worth the trouble? And sometimes it's not worth the trouble, I'll tell you. But since I don't know a whole lot about this case or its thermals, unfortunately this is a case that everyone liked, but no one seemed to want to review where its thermals go. I really couldn't tell you a whole lot about the thermals about this case. So, you know, right now I'm kind of in overkill mode with this, simply because I don't know. Other cases that are like highly reviewed, you know, it's easy finding thermal information on them. That's not a problem. But for a case like this, where everybody says it's a great case, but nobody bothered to post thermal information, thermal testing on it, you know, you really don't know which setup is best until you actually turn it on and start running those numbers. Come on, screw. This is a time when you really say to yourself, I wish I had a magnetic screwdriver. That would help out so much. And if you're building a computer, I recommend that. Go find your one with a magnetic end on it, because hey, why are you not going in there? You're going to be a pain in the butt, aren't you? Yes, you are. Simply because you can be. Alright. Alright, get in there. Because you're ticking me off right now. Oh, enemies. Why? Maybe I just need a different screwdriver top here. Hang on here, I gotta play around here and see what I need. This screw does not want to go in. Let me try a different tip. Okay, I just needed a different tip here. Now we got this thing going in, no problem. So I learned something here. The Entity's case, it's got two different type size heads now. Very interesting. Very interesting. Usually, with most cases, once you find the right screwdriver head, that's all you need to know. You can just keep on going. So very interesting. I need two screwdriver heads. Very interesting indeed. The things you learn building. So, if you're building an Entity's cube case here, you will need something like this, a multi-tool with at least 2 different size heads on it, because it has at least 2 different size screws on it, as I just found out. And for the computer builder, this is not abnormal by any means, but it is a great big serious pain in the rear end. But that's all the joys of, you know, building a computer here. Oh wow, we're already 10 minutes. Alright. So we're at 10 minutes already. Wow. But we had unexpected problems here. So now these fans here, I'm going to put this in fully, simply because this fan gave me such a hard time that if I keep it in here, I don't ever want to have to mess with it again until I take it out. So that fan is now permanently set in the screw work here. So that's down there. So as you can see, good enough. Now the only thing you hope is when you put it in here, you put it in right as far as the cable goes, which I did. That wasn't intentional or on purpose. That's just the way how it worked out. Okay, now this guy here. We need to mount this guy here. We have a couple different choices here. Our first choice here is we can mount it either in this bay or we can mount it in this bay here. The only problem is with this bay here is a DVD drive is going to go in there. So that's going to block off cooling over here. And over here, I may put another fan in here, or want to, depending on how good this thing is, and or how much more extra cooling I may need on the motherboard. So I probably won't use this one. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back to the default. Okay. Now the default here is not too hard. This is my case. There's a little screw here. Maybe I can turn it here. You still can't see it, but the screw is right where my finger is, right there. So you just undo the screw. It's a little, you know, standard screw. Come on, where are you? Got a big blocky head on it. Big blocky plastic. My camera's out of efficient here. Okay, big blocky, you know, plastic end to it. Nothing special. But like all the computer screws and bolts and everything else I told you about yesterday and the day before, don't lose anything. Don't throw out anything. Because you cannot find bolts and screws or anything computer related in your hardware store. Because these are all in metric. And on top of it, they are not, you know, single increments. Metric sizes. So this bolt here, it may be 2.3 millimeters, and your local hardware store sells only 2 millimeter or 3 millimeter. The 2 millimeter won't fit because it's too loose, and the 3 millimeter, it might fit, but you're really going to have to screw that baby in. So always keep all your screws, even if you think you may not need it. Always keep them. I cannot emphasize that enough. Okay. Alright, so what we are going to do here is I'm going to open up the tray here. It just opens up, it's nothing pretty, nothing fancy, see it? And we're going to take out just any old drive here. That'll come out. In this case, this one slid out. That's what we'll use. You don't have to be picky or fancy here. And now I need to push this down a little bit. Can you see that? Yeah, I think you can see that. Kind of, sort of. Alright, now what we're going to do here is we are going to mount our hard drive onto here, okay? Now, you mount the hard drive onto here, you got to mount it backwards, okay? So it slides in like that, okay? But you want this end here pointing outward, okay? That way you can get the cables in there better. So what you got to do here, and unlike a laptop, where a laptop is easy to use, easy to get out, you don't need that little spacer. Because laptops, what they do is they have, they have what's called a common port, where that common port, it's designed to fit, all makes and models of SSD drives. Okay. Now the problem with that is very simple. Yeah, it's designed to fit all makes and models, but if you, if you got, a 5mm tall drive, and your slot's, 8 millimeters, you need what's called a spacer. Okay, it's a little plastic thing. What they do is they take it, they put the spacer down on the tray here, and then they put, the solid state drive on top of it. And that fills up that extra room there so it doesn't, flop around inside the computer. But when you're building an actual desktop, you don't need that spacer. Because you're going to actually take this thing, turn it around. You're going to flip your hard drive around. You're going to get a screw. And this may take me a little bit of effort here. We'll do the best we can. Now I took 4 screws out of my screw bag from the case maker. And I want to do the best I can to show this to you, but I have a funny feeling this isn't going to work out as far as you watching me do this. But I'm going to try my best here. So what you do on the bottom of the case, there's 4 little holes. You just line up the little holes. And if it doesn't go in fairly easily, then you got the wrong size screw. Okay? Don't force it in. Okay? If it doesn't go in there fairly easily and naturally, then you know you have the wrong size nut. Okay? Don't force it, obviously. But if it seems to be going in there naturally, just kind of, keep doing it. Now this thing here is plastic, so it's a little bit flimsy, but this should be alright here. And it's going in, feeling with a natural feel to it. So I don't have any concerns here at the moment. And we've hit the end of that bolt, that nut. And we'll do the next one. Now that we got one in there, we should be a little bit better off. Now just line up the hole here if we can. If the hole doesn't line up, that's a really big problem, trust me. But we shouldn't have any problems. So far this case has been very easy to build in. Yep, and there's the hole. So we will quickly screw that in. This video is going to be a little bit on the longer side. We're already 18 minutes. But that's okay. Because we're now starting to install components, so there isn't a whole lot more videos to come. Motherboard, I'm going to be, making a lot of little videos. Simply because, it's kind of difficult, to make those type of videos, these videos. Because you're inside the case at that point. I gotta kind of think about how to, videotape that. Because, simply because it is working inside the case at that point. So that's going to be a little more difficult and challenging, But I'm okay with that, I'll do my best. I got through it so far. I may have bored you to death from time to time, but, that's okay too. Hopefully you learned a little something. I know I did. So, you know, if I learned one or two things, you know, hopefully you learned at least one thing so far. If you listen carefully, the voice of experience here will teach you a few things that you need to know. Now, of course, you could just be not watching it, and, you know, not learning anything. You're just, you know, got the sound off. You don't want to hear me. That's fine too. But I am getting all kinds of great free advice while I'm talking here doing this, you know, so it's entirely yours, your choice here what you do. So, that's it. Alright, now this here is in hard and tight. Alright, this is now permanent. So then what we do is we just slide it back in. It will auto lock in place. And we get our little screw. Oops. I hope I put the camera back up, wouldn't it? Alright, maybe I'll just reshoot that a little bit. Alright, now, we just take that, and it'll just slide in place like that. And we take our little nut here, we find the hole here that it went into, and then we just screw it in place. You gotta love those thumb screws, they're nice. And now we have our SSD mounted. Right there. Right there. Right where I'm pointing. So we have the fan repositioned here. We have the fan repositioned here. It may or may not stay. And we got a hard drive installed. So that's it. Okay. Bye-bye.